night. We make reservations.
Tony Katz, great to be with you. Facebook, Tony Katz Radio. Should Roy Moore step down? And the answer is, hell if I know. He never would have been my pick in Alabama, the Republican candidate for Senate running against a guy named Doug Jones. And the idea that a Democrat can take a Senate race in Alabama has got a lot of people freaked. Well, it's what happens when you make a mistake from the beginning. Roy Moore could be a social conservative all he wishes, and he is a social conservative. I would say it differently than that. But Roy Moore has to be electable, and I'm not 100% sure that he was the easiest choice for these people. Nor am I 100% sure that he is a conservative the way I see it. Now, the people of Alabama may see things differently than me. He's a guy who served as the Chief Justice of the Supreme Court. This is a guy who is loved and hated in the state. All politics are local. The question is, did he engage in some type of sexual activity with a 14-year-old when he was 32, which would have been 30-some-odd years ago? To that, I don't know. And one of the questions that keeps getting asked repeatedly is this idea of why is it that when Harvey Weinstein is accused, we automatically believe it, but when Roy Moore is accused, well, now we're not so sure. Why won't people come out and say it's wrong? Wait a second. If you are trying to have any sexual relationship with a 14-year-old, you're wrong. I want nothing to do with you. I wouldn't let you in my house. I don't want you in my Senate. I don't want you in my country. I don't want anything to do with you at all. Nothing. You're a grown man or a grown woman trying to have sex with a 14-year-old child. I want nothing to do with you. In the case of Harvey Weinstein, he's admitted it. In the case of Harvey Weinstein, it wasn't sex with a 14-year-old. It was forcing himself on people. There are allegations of rape, which we may actually see charges coming from New York, whether it be the prosecutor or from just the police making an arrest. They're detectives. We have audio from Kevin Spacey. We have admissions of guilt. George Takei had someone charge him 30-some-odd years ago, maybe 40 years ago, of a man said, George Takei grabbed me, and it was in the crotch or whatever it is. George Takei is gay. He's Sulu from Star Trek. You know this already. I'm not teaching you anything new here. And George Takei's like, I have no idea what this guy's talking about. Thank you very much. I don't see anybody say, guilty. Prove the case. Prove the case. Now, Roy Moore has not done himself any favors. Roy Moore, when he was on Hannity, didn't say, absolutely not, never happened. I think the line he used was, I always got their mother's permission. Now, that right there is some cultural stuff. That right there is some time and place, culture kind of talk. I always got their mother's permission. That in 2017 is not seen as a good excuse. That's seen as a what? And something Roy Moore is clearly not prepared to deal with. I personally don't care if Roy Moore steps aside or not. I would rather he did, because he's not the guy I want in the Senate. But I don't know who they're going to write in right now. They're going to go back to Luther Strange, who's the sitting senator, the one who got appointed. They're going to go to Mo Brooks, who, if they'd gone to Mo Brooks, we don't have any of this stuff. You might still have an accusation, because who knows if the accusation is real, and that part should not be denied. This is 1 month before the election, the special election in Alabama, and now it comes out. The whole history of this guy, Roy Moore, the whole history of him as a justice and everything else he's done, and now it comes out. Come on. There are reasons to have doubts. But I don't mind if they go about investigating. If they can prove it, okay. Has Roy Moore hurt himself here? Absolutely. Do the allegations hurt? Sure. Has the way he handled it hurt? Absolutely. Do I believe the allegation? Not right off the bat, no. Do I believe them against Harvey Weinstein? Yes. Why? He admitted it. There's a difference. There is a difference. But I'm not going to somehow say that there's a difference if he did it. If he did it, get rid of the guy. I don't want to know the guy. Should he step aside? If the Republicans think they can win without him, absolutely. If the Republicans think they can win with him, I don't know what to tell these people. He was the wrong pick to begin with. That's the story. If you want to win with a guy who is suspect, well, I don't know what to tell you there. You're going to have to deal with that reality. But you know what else is suspect right now? The charges. That can't get denied either. So if I'm Roy Moore and I want to fight, I fight. But if Roy Moore lied, and if Roy Moore is caught lying, and something actually happened where he didn't tell the full story, his most hardcore backers, they're going to have a hard time finding people to support them in the future. I'm Tony Katz.
Hammer and Nigel.
Twitter has now rolled out